Hello, my name's Colin Crithers, and I'm a student reporter and broadcaster at the University of Iowa. As a journalist, my job is to tell stories, while also balancing everything else going on in my life as a student. But no one tells our stories. So, my goal is to tell the stories of the student journalists, broadcasters, and storytellers all across the country. Let's walk the student beat. Welcome in. Today we're walking the student beat with Jake Rios of Iowa, a good friend of mine over at DITV. Jake, how are you?
Doing great. Thank you for having me on the show, Colin. I'm a huge fan of the Student Beat. My favorite episode was the Ryan Paris one when he talked about the DITV trading cards, and it's just an honor. It's an honor to be here today. So thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. It's a special episode we have today. Here's my little surprise for you. It's our little spooky Halloween episode here on the
Whoa.
student beat. So that's it. We're just Halloween fun. I don't know. We maybe throw in a Halloween story or two, but
Ooh,
nonetheless,
okay.
if you don't mind introducing a little bit more about yourself and the journalistic outlets you've worked with.
Yeah, so I work for DITV. I've been here for a little over a year now. I currently am the digital producer, so I upload a lot of stuff to the website, kind of manage stuff with social media. Um, And yeah, I mean, it's my dream to work in journalism, and I so far I've loved every day working for DITV and covering sports and even just news in general. So, yeah.
You said dream to work in journalism and everything. When did you realize that it was your dream and how so?
So this kind of starts like back in high school. When I was a sophomore in high school, I basically made these like movies, but they were like award shows. We called them the J Oscars because it was like the joke Oscars, and it's also produced by me, Jake. So it's like the J in front. And basically, me and my friends would film just a ton of different like skits, videos, whatever you need. Like we made like a Shark Tank skit for one of them. And it was basically just a huge like 2 hour compilation of these videos, and then we would present awards that would apply to a friend group. So we had like well, besides like we had like best dressed, we had like best hair, we would have like best photo or best video, like in in a camera roll, stuff like that. And then we would like legitimately buy these awards, and you'd like yeah, you'd go through the nominees, like, and I would edit it and make it look like it was like the Grammys or the actual Oscars, and it was really cool. But like I did that for 3 years, and I loved editing. It was a lot of editing, and so I kind of realized like, you know what, like I need to do this going into college. Like I need to do something, some sort of career that focuses on video and focuses on video production because I knew I was really good at it. Um, and so that's what led me to journalism, just because it's like, this is a career built out of it. And, um, I originally came to campus as a cinema major, and that stuff's been fun too. Like, getting to shoot movies and stuff. I found that journalism was a much better fit, and it was much more the style of content that I really enjoyed creating.
Why so? Is it like the creativity of it? Is it just the true storytelling impact? What is it?
Yeah, I really think it's the storytelling. I think it's really getting to meet all these people and share their stories. And I feel like it's really framed in a sense of like, oh, here's what's happening here. Here's what's happening here. Like, that's what news is it's just I just the act of reporting and telling stories is something that I think really attracted to me over just producing films. And producing films is still a ton of fun. Like, there's still some stuff I more want to do with it, but that's what I think really stood out to me was telling other people's stories.
Yeah, now you're doing that constantly with DITV. I know, I see it firsthand. I love it seeing it from you. Talk to me about getting your foot in the door at Iowa, getting your start with specifically DITV.
Yeah, I think it was October of last year, and I just remember someone originally recruited me for the tech part of the ITV because they were like, "Oh, like you're good with cameras and editing. Like, dude, we need tech people. Like, join tech." And I was like, "Okay, like why not? Like, I'm a freshman, and that's one of the best parts I think going into college as a freshman is the goal is just to try everything, get your hands on everything. Like, you don't have to be good at everything. You don't necessarily have to enjoy everything. You just have to try it." So I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? I'll join. And I ended up not doing any of tech stuff. I ended up just getting straight into reporting. Just like I joined like right before we had this huge election show. So I'm like my first time live on air was like me in the newsroom. and I'm talking about, states and their electoral votes and past voting history, which thankfully I happened to know a bit on because then it made my first time on air very comfortable and I was like, oh, hey, like actually, I was kind of good at this. Like, I just remember I was talking about like Iowa's voting history. I didn't really know much on it, but that's a huge thing that we do here is we cover politics and like I ended up doing pretty good at it. So I felt like I belonged and I felt like this is something that I can work more in and work better towards. So that's kind of when I realized that I belonged here.
That election show is it's a big wake up call almost like the
It
jump right in,
was.
like, oh, welcome in, because like I'll
Yeah.
let you tell it, but that election show was that was a lot.
Mhm. Everyone was like super stressed out. I remember our producer Johnny at the time was did not get any sleep. He was like burnt out after producing the whole show and like it was just constant like chaos. Like we had to rotate anchors after this. People were like, go, switch out anchors, and we're typing stuff in the newsroom just trying to create content. Like, oh, it was fun though. Like I honestly enjoyed it as someone who was not like in a leadership role having to deal with the stress, but like yeah, it was chaos.
It was. And for those listening that are unaware, so at DITV, we do morning newscasts every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. A little promo there, I guess. But
Yep.
the night of the election, it was a Tuesday night, I'm pretty sure, because the next morning we had a show, or maybe it was Thursday, and maybe it was a Thursday night. But
I think so, yeah. Something like
either
that.
way, night of the election, we decided for the first time to go live throughout the evening to like live broadcast the election and give results from that. So it started, I don't know, a few hours before the genuine results were coming in. And then as they were coming in, we would like live share like, all right, this state has just been claimed by this person and so on and so forth. So it was a long night, but it was a really cool night because I don't know many other places that were doing that.
Yeah, and it was even crazier. We still had like a live show the next morning. So we finished, airing like almost a 6 hour long show, whatever it was, and then we have to wake up in like a couple hours for morning news, which is insane. I don't know how we pulled it off genuinely, but like yeah. A lot of hard work.
Yeah, I remember being, I don't know if you were on anything for the morning show. I was
I
on
was not luckily.
Survivor, and I
Oh,
will full-heartedly admit I woke up a few minutes late. Um, I didn't show up that late, but like I slept like 5 minutes past my alarm, so it wasn't bad. But I
mm,
was like, oh, this is a morning where I can't sleep in. I can't like oversleep my alarm at all. That was fun.
yeah.
I went straight over to my spot, but we were good. We were good.
Yeah.
But experience like that, I mean, you're a college student in that situation. How do you feel like that prepares you for the rest of your collegiate career and even past that, like just a career past college?
It's huge. I feel like I mean, to me, that's the greatest part about working there is, when we're in a field where like hands-on experience is so important. It's essentially all that we're doing. Like, so the fact that like that was like, an introduction to basically the biggest and like hardest and longest of any sort of production writing, like you name it, editing, all of that put in one into one night. And the fact that I handled it and I enjoyed it just showed me like, okay, I can do anything. Like that gives me all the confidence I need to, because there's times where it's gonna get really stressful and it's gonna get hard in journalism as I've experienced. And so I definitely would say that was like the huge green light that like, if you can handle this, you can handle just about anything. So it definitely sets me up for the future.
Yeah, it does. And obviously, you're also in on the sports side as well of DITV. So talk to me a little bit first about. I mean, obviously, I know, but for those that aren't aware about what you do with DITV in that regards.
Yeah, DITV Sports, as we call it. DITV Sports. No. Um, we just about do everything related to sports. We go to the games, basically we'll recap them. We'll get shots of athletes in whatever sport it is. We'll tell the story how either like as a game recap or we'll tell it as like some sort of specialty relating to a player or relating to a coach. Like I got to do the UMass game earlier this year when Iowa played UMass, and it was Kirk Ferentz breaking the record. So we had another story on that going about how it's like, oh my gosh, he's Big Ten all-time winningest coach. Um, and so it's really just taking different angles to athletics, sports in any way, and I feel like it's really fun. It gets to do so many opportunities. Like I remember I watched Drake. Like I picked Drake in March Madness to upset Mizzou. Um and they did, and I watched the game. I'm a huge, college basketball fan. And I remember watching them like, oh my gosh, like Drake is amazing. They're like this, Missouri Valley program. They're taking it to an SEC program. That's amazing. And then all of a sudden, Drake's head coach gets hired at Iowa, and now I get to go cover it. Like as at all of us, I get to go film him and his press conference and ask him questions, and it's the coolest feeling in the world watching like something unfold in the sports world, and it comes close to you, and you're able to, film it.
Yeah, you had the introductory press conference for that, right? For Ben McCollum.
I did. I had the intro and I had the media day as well.
Yeah, dude, you're a men's basketball guy right now.
Huge men's basketball guy. I have the Bennett Sturts jersey, Brendan Hausen. And then before them, Payne Sanford. I was a huge fan of anyone Iowa basketball and women's basketball too. So love it.
So is there like a favorite game that you've covered while at Iowa?
Oof. Um, that's a hard one.
It's tough. I don't know if I'd have an answer for my own question.
Um, favorite game. I mean, honestly, like because most of my freshman year I wasn't like that much into the sports.
Yeah.
I'd probably say the Iowa versus UMass is my favorite, just because that was my first time going. They take you on the middle of the field and you hear the roar of the crowd just 360 degrees behind you, and they come out, they do the swarm, and they run right at you. It's the coolest feeling. So I'd probably say that was the best one, just because it was like the huge moment where it's like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. Like I want to stay in journalism. I don't want to do any other field. This is awesome. Yeah, I will take whatever stress I need because yeah, it was just super eye-opening. So I'd have to say Iowa versus UMass.
Then, like you mentioned it, Kirk Ferentz breaking the record as Big Ten's winningest head coach ever. That's a crazy thing. I don't know if that record will ever be broken.
No, never again. Probably not. I mean, he's been with Iowa for I don't know how many years now, but he's been here for a ton of years. So.
What was that? I think this is year. God bless. Now I'm gonna make myself look dumb. Is it 27? I'm gonna look it up real quick.
No, I don't know either. I just know he's been here
That's
for a
Kirk Ferentz.
long time.
I'm like guessing myself. Hold on. It is his. Someone tell me. Year at Iowa. This is his 27th year. Okay, I don't know why I was like questioning myself. I was like, maybe it's not 27. Maybe I'm wrong. It's 27. It's year 27. But
Mhm.
tell me about like, dude, how was that press conference like post game? Like, was he emotional or what?
I feel like honestly, a lot of the press conferences, they tend to have a bit of the PR response where it's
Oh,
like,
100%.
oh yeah, we're proud of these guys, proud of this, proud of whoever, but we'll get back to work tomorrow. I think he had a little bit of pride with that because it's like obviously you became the Big Ten's all-time winningest coach, but he seemed locked in, he seemed focused for the next game. So, um, I mean, can't really complain. I'm fine with him being locked in for future games.
Lock in. He needed it because that next game was needed a little bit more locked in. The next game was Iowa State, and then we don't
Oh yeah,
we don't
ah,
we don't need to talk
it's
about that
okay,
game. We
it's
don't need to talk
okay.
about that game. We're looking. By the time we're recording this, Minnesota, but we're at the time this will be released, we're looking at Oregon after the bye week. After the bye week, so
Yeah.
that's going to be a huge game. Oh, I'm excited for that one.
I think we can do it.
We
I
can do
think
it.
with how close we were with Indiana, I think we can put up a good fight against Oregon. We need things to roll our way.
That haunts me.
Yeah, it
It
was
does.
rough.
No, I mean, obviously, it's the benefit of playing in Kinnick, and you meant like you were there on the field, like you had everyone screaming around you. Like, would you agree that Kinnick, like when people say it's so hard to play there, could you feel it down there on the field?
Absolutely. It kind of rattles your ears a bit. Like you can feel it. You can feel it in your ears. Like I remember, sometimes at high school football games, and there's people screaming, and like your ears get like a little ring thing. But like in Kinnick, it's like that, but like times 10. It's it's super loud. It's crazy, and it's awesome. It's a great atmosphere. So I hope it's hard on the other teams. I hope it is.
I think it is. I would hope so. But
Right.
does that make you like when you're out there, you're doing the job, you're reporting, you're filming the game. Does that almost make what you're doing even like any more difficult at all?
Like, does it make it more difficult with the atmosphere?
Yeah, just like when the atmosphere is that insane, does it make the film or any of the work any more difficult, or do you find it almost easier to do certain things?
I mean, I think it's easier. I think it's like it can be a little chaotic at times just with other media people. Like I remember we went around the field and these guys were like, "Oh, did you guys not read the rules? Like you can't be over here at this time." Because they give you a rule sheet with like it's like 2 pages long and it's covered with rules and it's like, okay, I'm not gonna memorize all of this. I'm just gonna
No.
try to be respectful and not like shove my camera or go somewhere where I can't go. But I feel like in some sense it can get a little bit more difficult when the event is bigger in that regard. But I wouldn't say it was like necessarily like it made it more difficult for me to do my job. You just got to work around it, which is it is what it is.
I think it is. I think it almost is easier too. Even just like having a good atmosphere brings you a good story. Having a
Mhm.
it brings a good game. It's easy to get fan shots. I mean, from like
Right, there's more attention to it, you know. And I think that's probably why it makes it a little bit easier.
yeah, people flock to where the stories are, and that's where the stories are,
Right.
the bigger games and everything. They I don't
Yeah.
know. I again, it's nice to see that Kinnick typically gets sold out, so we typically have a decent job of getting some solid stories from football. Like it's not
Yeah.
like there's plenty of times where we're sitting there like, all right, what can be the feature story this week? What can we tell about? But I don't know. I think those games are always very, very fun. But also, I mean, we're covering other stuff as well, not just football, not just basketball, but just stories about athletes in general. Do you have a favorite story that you've told or done while at DITV?
Um, that's a good one. I would say, honestly, it was my first ever live shot here. I was covering the Cancer in Iowa report. And that was my first time going to a press conference, like not sports, not anything. It was my first time going to a press conference, and it was just really cool, like getting to, these are cancer survivors kind of telling their story, and I got to be able to, uh, report on it like live. It wasn't even like a normal package. Like I got to literally for the morning show just be there live. And so I'd say that one was probably one of my favorites that I've gotten to report on. Because as far as athletes, I haven't done too much personal stories, although I am working on one with Sade on the volleyball team. Sade Van Zant, she's incredible to watch. Shows a lot of the women's volleyball players. That's another sport that I'm kind of starting to watch more of. And so
Fun.
um, yeah, there'll be some good stories to tell from the athletes, but yeah,
Volleyball is so fun. And the thing is, we're lucky in the Big Ten that volleyball is so good in this conference. Like, I think like Big Ten has the best volleyball in the country. It's the volleyball conference, honestly. And sure, when you look at
100%.
certain stuff, Iowa doesn't have the record, but they still have plenty of talent.
Right. I think you're definitely right. I mean, you have Nebraska, you have Wisconsin, like those Penn State won the
Yeah.
national championship last year. Like those programs are well known for their volleyball. And so, you know, yeah, Iowa's definitely like they're struggling right now with just because they're just going against like incredibly good teams. It's not even like they're lacking as a program. It's just they're playing some really like good teams. I mean they took a set to ranked USC if I'm correct not too long
Yeah.
ago. So no, they're fighting hard, and it's win or lose, it's fun to watch them, and I think that's the biggest thing is that they're also trying to do as a program is attract more fans and get more people to go to their games, which is if they're doing that, I'd say that's probably the more successful thing than winning games.
That's what they need to do at this point, too.
Right.
Just from a recruiting perspective.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Yeah, I was calling that USC game that you mentioned there, and they
Mm,
lost 3-1, but every set was extremely close and
mm,
extremely entertaining. The thing is with USC volleyball, like I think they have 18 rostered players, right? 11 of them are sophomores or younger, and that includes redshirt sophomores, redshirt freshmen. But like 11 of the 18 are that young, and it was crazy. Like talking to like we got some like it was awesome. They were great. We had access to their practice in the morning at 11 a.m. And then we weren't able to make it, but we could have gone to their film session in the middle of the day before they went back to Carver for like their game. And just the amount of stuff they can put in, like work on, and the more you can learn about each team is I don't know. I feel like the more you can learn, the better everything comes across.
oh yeah, 100%. I mean. That's kind of how I was with like, I had been more of a because I used to play hockey um growing up, and so that and basketball I've played. Oh, well, basketball I didn't play seriously. I just played a lot of pickup and I played intramural. Shout out DITV intramural team last year. We were not very good, but it was a lot of fun. Uh, so like those two sports, like I already know a lot of players and collegiate level for that. Although not hockey. Hockey's not NCAA, but I'd say like, when you know players and you know like a lot of part of the league, it's so much easier to do stuff like reporting on them, asking them questions, and that's what I'm trying to do with, football as well. Obviously, Iowa football I watched a lot of, so I know all the guys there, and um, I'm trying to just expand with sports. That's why, volleyball's huge, like um, soccer. We love Iowa soccer, man. They are nice. So yeah, I'm just trying to expand with sports and get to know more of these athletes.
Yeah, and you mentioned also being a digital producer as well. So we have not had anyone with the claim of that role whatsoever, or any capacity of anything like that on the show yet. So kind of explain what that role looks like.
Yeah, so it's essentially like, we'll do a newscast or people will produce their packages, but we gotta we have to make that go public somehow. So whether it's YouTube or it's the website, right now we're looking at actually turning our stories that our reporters produce into Facebook and Instagram. Although those are a little bit harder to acclimate to just because, we're playing around with different like algorithms and like, captions and stuff like that. And so it's kind of like a slow acclimation. Um, but essentially we cut up the show that we produce to, we send it to Channel 4 for Iowa City to be streamed. We'll change the thumbnails. Like I said, we'll create captions for reporters. What they do, they'll send us our captions. We'll upload them, um, and it just all helps getting them publicity to the stuff that they produce, which is great. We want people to watch stuff that they worked hard on. So it's all around trying to figure out how can we get more people to pay attention to what we're doing.
The more eyes, the better.
Yeah.
100%. And I would shout out Liz Schultz. You and Liz have done
Yep.
amazing on that so far this year. And I was curious, you mentioned like algorithms, captions, like words that get clicks. And I think obviously it's grown as a whole from you two this year. What's some stuff you've learned in that role so far?
I think one of the things that is most interesting is that short form content really beats out the longer form content. And obviously it's not like that in every case, but we've had like YouTube shorts of just like Grace and Hannah of DITV did one where they're just like I think it was before Word on the Street, and they were just like trying to come up with something. It was a super short video of them just like having fun, and it got like a couple thousand views compared to, we do full packages that we work hard on that get like 10 views sometimes. Like that's among the lower end, but like sometimes we'll have stories that just don't get a lot of views. And it's like it's a crazy difference just because, this is a YouTube short versus a package, and it's getting so much more attention, and we want to try to take advantage of that in the same way that we can get to stuff that we've worked like actually really hard on.
Yeah.
So I'd say that part is probably the most interesting I've learned is just how like short form content, reels, stuff like that, I think just grabs more attention of viewers, and because of that, it gets so much more viewership.
Yeah. And then almost on like the same note, because you're seeing all this stuff, you're looking at it every day pretty much. How does that help you with the stories that you churn about being a reporter, just everything else that you're doing as a journalist? How does it help you?
I think it helps me in the sense that I get a new perspective when I'm trying to think about how I want to make content. Um, and the thing is it's can be a little hard to do because there's a certain way you want your packages, you want your news stories to turn. Like you want to do it a certain way that looks good for the show versus like, oh, this is something that might get a lot of attention if I were to publish it a different way. So I think it just allows me to gain a perspective on how I want it, like, having more creativity with filming content. Um, it's just hard to like find how I can actually put that into action, I would say.
Yeah, as a like putting that, I was gonna ask even about that right there, that point at the end of like putting that in action of like what like again, you're looking at it each day, and I think we're all learning how like I was mentioning on a call the other day to someone that like we're all actively as students still trying to find new things and try new things. And I know personally, I am still trying things that I have not like. I don't know if it's gonna work yet or not. So I was gonna ask you, like, what would be like your advice to people like that are turning typical news packages, or, I mean, obviously sports, but like that news style of like how does that content come across the best? Is it truly just like hopefully you get the right words in there and hope things go well?
As far as captions and, post production with like, how it's framed, like a good thumbnail, can be huge. And yeah, I would say like a shorter caption typically do work, good tags. That's all kind of like technical. As far as like what you're actually shooting, I think you just have to have like a good hook right away.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's the most important thing because admittedly, if more people watch the video with how YouTube is nowadays, like the longer a video is watched, the more it gets recommended. The algorithm is that's how that algorithm is set up is it's meant to be it's based around viewer watch time, not necessarily like, oh, this couple people clicked this and then clicked away. Well, then it's not going to get recommended as much. So I would say like just being able to make your story like visually, uh, whether it's audio, however you do it, just to make it visually or just to make it interesting in general, like right off the start, I think is like one of the biggest ways you can get more attention.
100%. 100%. I'd agree with that. I think it's a big thing. If I'm not interested in the
Mhm.
first few seconds, then I don't care.
And you
Like,
click off. Yeah, we have short attention spans. That's how we are nowadays. I mean, that's why scrolling on TikTok is or doom scrolling is it's a real thing because we have short attention spans. If we don't like it, bye.
keep going. Yeah. Like, and that's
Yeah.
it. Like, people are so busy now. Like, when I have time to relax, I'm gonna find something, and if I don't like it yet, I'm gonna try to take advantage of something else that I like.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. So
The nice thing with DITV, on another note, is like we're all pretty, close, tight knit family. We have fun with each other. So
we
we've
absolutely are.
had plenty of fun, stupid, hilarious moments. Do you have a favorite moment so far in the studio?
Oh man, there's too many. Yeah, no, like you said, it is honestly that's probably the best part about working at the ITV is we're all friends. We're all, we are just like one big dysfunctional family. Um, I would say, I mean, one of my favorites recently is me and Nick Isles were filming a stand-up, and we we still make fun of Nick for this, but he just the way he said his closer was like DITV Sports. Like I don't know if it was a voice crack or what, but we just were filming it after the UMass game, and like it just became like a running thing. Anytime we do a closer, it's just DITV Sports. Um, like that one recently has been really fun. If I had to choose one all time though, I mean the Ryan Paris trading cards, those were legendary. Like I remember I got my first pack I opened, I got like the legendary Brady Barron canvas driver card, and I'd lost my mind. Like we all wanted the Brady Barron cards, and so just having like random like fictional cards of like our coworkers is just hilarious. So I'd probably have to go with that as the winner, honestly.
That just gave me an idea. There's no way I can pass up on this, but first, explain it if because like we've talked about it with Ryan Paris's episode, but if case people haven't listened to that, explain what those trading cards are.
Yeah, so basically, we kind of, we like on air we'll make these full pages with photos for athletes or for whatever we're covering. It's just a graphic, in general for something that we're talking about. And so we took what makes that graphic in our editing and we just put like well we made one for every single person that works at DITV and instead of like news facts or whatever we're trying to say like stats, we just do like stats about the person or just random like like just random things about them. Like I think we for Brady Barron we said he was like first team all canvas.
Yeah.
So we did that for like everyone just having these like random stats maybe applicable to sports. Um and it was just hilarious. Some of the photos would be like insane. Like I remember Johnny had like 10 of them and some of his photos were just like they were horrible to look at. But they were hilarious. And so yeah, we basically made like a ton of trading cards with every reporter had one of their own and yeah, it was awesome.
No, they were fun. They were, gosh, I still have them in my desk in my apartment. Like they sit like the setup of my desk. I don't know. There's drawers on each side, and there's like one top drawer right in the middle, and they're right there in the middle. The first thing you see is the trading cards still that I have.
Yep.
Good old
Legendary
Easter
moment.
Easter Day. That was our
Easter Day.
yeah, that was our Easter Easter egg hunt. Was
Oh, yeah, that's right. We had an Easter egg hunt. We
yeah.
had to find them. Yeah.
And you got a maximum of like 6 cards that day, and you got what you got. Um,
Yep. You trade around if you wanted, but
there are some that were left there for like a few days and everything. I'm pretty
mm,
sure it
yeah,
took a
no,
little
you're
while.
right.
Shout out Ryan Paris.
Ryan Paris, yeah, he was legendary for that. Gotta
There's
love it.
there's another moment now that I just thought of it that there's no way I can pass up this opportunity on the student beat here of bringing this up. You got to give me 1 second, okay? I'll be right back.
Okay,
I got to run and grab it.
go for it.
What do you know? What do you know about the Brady?
Oh my gosh. How could I forget the Brady Barron pillow? We have two of them now. Because the only thing better than one Brady Barron pillow was two Brady Barron pillows. That's amazing. He's forever going to be in the sports bay now. Some people will hang up their jerseys in retirement. That this is our form of that. Brady's always in the sports bay somewhere watching you.
It's a legit
So
pillow. Like
yeah,
this is what we do. This is how we keep ourselves sane at Iowa.
yep,
Um,
really.
he- I hope he sees that, and I hope he has a ball with that. Like
I
obviously, he
hope he does
will,
too.
but I hope he sees his part because there's no reason, but I had to bring it up because now it's officially on here forever.
Yeah.
It's like a what is this 30-inch pillow or something? It's big. Look at this. It's big.
No, it's not like you can. We've had people actually. I think Ryan has said he's actually taken a nap on it. Like he's put his
Yes.
forehead on the desk down.
That's
It was
horrible.
comfy, so yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if I'll ever lay my head on Brady Barron. But nonetheless, that's been a recent addition here to our sports bay.
Yeah.
I had to, because I
We,
hope
we had to
people
bring
look
it
at
up at
you like,
some
what
point.
is
No,
wrong
you're
with
right.
now everyone know now everyone that sees us will know that we have a Brady Barron pillow.
Yeah, it needed to become public at some point. So
It's our first public announcement of maybe I'll post that as a social as well.
you should.
Maybe it is not a bad option. Not a bad option. But
No,
yeah,
not at all.
that's what we do in our spare time. I promise we do our work. We do our work, but we have
No,
plenty
we work hard. Like trust.
just trust what we're saying. We promise. We promise. We're working hard. I wanted to ask you too, though, because obviously we're doing all of this, and a fundamental part of this is that you're a student journalist and you're taking classes. You have life outside of your classwork and journalism. Like, how do you best balance being a student and being a journalist?
In my experience, I think I found, at least this is my sophomore year, so a lot of my classes are gen eds and, you know, to me, I grew up like with all my friends going to engineering or pre-med from back home. Like I'm the only one who's studying something that's more creative than like something that's like hard earned, uh, like it smarts. Like my friends they're pretty smart. Like they do a good job and they work hard, but their classes are so tough. Like it's killing them. Um, and so I feel like, I'll hear their stories and I look at the stuff that I'm studying and I'm like, no, there's no reason why I can complain about my classes. Um, some of them I'm not like, like I said, I've taken majority of just gen eds, so I haven't had too much like journalism courses that I've gotten hands on with. But like overall, I find that it's easy to balance. You just have to be able to manage it well. And I think certainly it did take me actually a little bit to acclimate to that joining to college. I was not like the start of this year, I wasn't super great with it just because I didn't like some of my classes, like how they went. But we got through it, and then I was able to kind of uh, get stuff done, get it done well. Because realistically, I find that a lot of the classes are not. necessarily stressful. They're just very time consuming. So
Yeah.
as long as you can manage the time, you know, you'll be fine. And sometimes it's hard to, yeah, like to work around like, oh, I want to go cover this event, but I can't because I have class. And sometimes I'll skip class if needed because I'll know like, okay, I would rather have this
Yeah.
in any part of my reel or any part of my work than this one day of class. So sometimes you do have to like choose something over class, although it's not an expectation.
No, it's never an expectation. I don't think
No,
anywhere, thank goodness. I know it's not here, obviously. And I think everyone
right.
I've talked to has expressed it's like it's not an expectation. Sometimes stuff happens. Um, and yeah, I think like because again, like class, I can attest a lot of the classes that I've taken, woof, sometimes. But like
Yeah.
it, I don't think it matters where you're doing anything. The hands-on experience doing stuff outside of class is so much more beneficial.
100%. I mean, I thought that like, you know, when we've had like actual people from news stations come into DITV and they're telling us like, you know, how to get hired and stuff. It's like, you know, realistically, like obviously you maybe you still want to do good academically, like that's all personal, but like you don't have to necessarily be very accelerated as a student to in order to increase your chances of how you do well in a workplace because that's not what we do, you know, that comes from your reel, that comes from your stand-ups, that comes from a bunch of other things that you do with creative media. It doesn't come from your GPA necessarily as it does for maybe another major. So I find that like just that mentality I am okay with, you know, as long as I'm passing, doing the work to pass and get a good grade, not be perfect. Um, then it's okay to, you know, be able to maybe skip this class once if I know I'm doing it for a better event going on that I'd have on my reel.
And especially once you get past like a bunch of those gen eds too, it's like a lot of your class you're learning the read, you're learning the write, not read. My goodness, I learned the read, because I can't read. Learning the
Yeah.
write, you're learning like the film, certain things, take photos and everything. But like outside of that, like what we do on the side is you're kind of honing in your skills as a storyteller and really honing in being a journalist and not just what the different stuff it takes to be a journalist.
Right. I find that you learn so much more working at TITV than you will in a classroom talking about how to use a camera, how to use a photo camera. Uh, like really, you know, you can on paper say like, oh, you know, this is the best way to tell your story and stuff, but you don't actually learn anything unless you're doing hands-on experience and you're really making it happen. So like for anyone that's in journalism, I recommend joining either, you know, not even just here, but just, you know, wherever you are, like to join some sort of hands-on paper or TV experience because you will learn so much more than just simply being in class.
Yeah, like join something like in general, student radio, student paper, student TV,
Yeah.
something else. I don't know, start your own thing because like you're gonna learn by failing and you're gonna
Yeah.
learn by like just doing the more you do, the more you figure out, yeah, this is more comfortable. This is what it just also like kind of shows you what you do and don't like. Like I would have hated not to have tried some things like I am right now, and then realize after college, like what if I didn't try any of it, and I try some of it out afterwards, and it's a job, and I'm like, oh, I don't like this, but I can't just change what I want to do anymore. This is my job.
Right. Yeah. No, 100%. Like this is your place to fail and to get your hands on stuff. And that's what I figured out, like joining college right away is just like, you know, you get to take advantage of everything. You know, it's all dependent on you, but it's okay to fail and it's okay to not enjoy something. You've just got to try it.
And it's kind of to a point from the beginning of this episode too. You said like going to DITV, you were kind of recruited in the tech booth a little bit, but
Yeah.
went right into reporting. Was that like a personal choice as well? Did you realize like maybe tech isn't my thing? Maybe I want to try this.
Well, I think I kind of realized that it was just like you know, the standard was just like the standard was that I was going to be brought on as a reporter by our news director at the time. Um, and like I didn't really have like a mentor or anyone helping me out personally, so I just had to involve my like, and that's fine. Like if you don't get one, you just have to involve yourself with shows, do weather, do a newsroom, because then you learn right away like how to pick up the writing skill. You'll learn how to add graphics and how to actually, you know, do stuff live. Um, So I think like once I just tried my hand at reporting once, I was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna stick with this and get better with it. I don't necessarily need to, you know, go right into the tech booth and just only stay there. That being said, I know I've done graphics a couple times in tech, but I think it's more of like I found a better fit in reporting just by choosing to do reporting first. So
You do it once and they hook you on, don't they?
pretty much, yeah.
You get reeled in, and that's like I remember like in high school when I got started with something, and I was just a big old like I don't like stop like doing something and saying, oh, I don't know if I want to do it anymore. So at first I wasn't sure, but I wanted like the advisors, I guess, come up to me and go, you got once you get started, you're reeled in and we'll never let you go. And I'm like, great, yay, that's exactly what I'm looking for. He's like, but I like it was true. It was true. I'm like, they never let me go, but it wasn't a bad thing. I liked that. I liked like being involved. Like you were saying, just trying to involve myself with different things. I learned like
Yeah.
freshman year of high school because I didn't do much that year. That I was like, I don't want to be like, because I didn't do anything. I didn't, in general, like I didn't do anything at the school. Then I just went home and didn't do much at home. So
Oof.
I don't know, involving myself has been great. And I feel like that's the same here at college. It helps me, sure, from like a professional standpoint, but just also a personal standpoint. I feel more comfortable being able to like kind of find different ways as a journalist to express myself.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think even like, like I said, like I came here as a cinema major. I just knew I wanted to do something with like editing and videography. I feel like I differ a little bit from other reporters maybe in the sense that, or at least with sports, I think a lot of you guys who grew up maybe a little bit more like, oh, I loved sports in particular. I did with some sports, but I found that I had to kind of learn a little more. And it's something that I love learning. It's just like I wasn't initially a sports guy. We'll put it that way. I was much more of a creative, visuals guy. And then I kind of realized, like, you know what? Like, the sports reporting is fun. Like, I want to keep doing this. So, yeah, you get to learn and you get to try new things. And that's the beauty of college, really. So, yeah, you
What's
said it.
what pulled you into like sports reporting at first? Was it just the fact that like you thought it might be fun, or was it like some of the because I know like with sports, it can be like, very visual at times, it can be very creative. What was it that pulled you in?
I think the thing that came to me first was actually the writing,
Um,
just because I think I realized like when writing something about let's say basketball or football, it'd kind of just click with me a lot easier because I would know this person, I would know kind of the angle that sports has. Like, you want it to typically be exciting, you want it to be like, you know, this athlete did this. Like it has like it's different than news, which can be a little bit more sometimes sentimental or stuff with politics. Like there's a different cadence to how you write. And so I think initially sports kind of drew to me in that sense. Um, and then also there was just the fact that like the Ben McCollum press conference, like it was so cool watching an athlete or sorry, watching a coach that, you know, I loved like be hired as my school's head coach and now I get to like tell the story on it. Like so being able to like, be closer to all these athletes you watch on TV and you're like right in their face, sticking a microphone in their face and asking them questions, like it's awesome. And I feel like that's also what drew me in is it's just really cool engaging with actual sports activity.
Yeah, when just talking about like just being engaged, being there on the scene, like talking about the Ben McCollum press conference and everything. And obviously, there is that term student journalist, and there's other journalists there without that term. Do you like why would you tell someone on the outside looking in why student journalism, whether it's that instance or just in general, is important to pay attention to?
Because I mean, I would say it's important to pay attention to because it's the next generation of journalists, I mean, you can't do it forever, and so it's always good to be aware of, new people trying it out and um getting acquainted with it, getting acclimated with it because, someday, I mean, these people are gonna, go into a workforce as well. Because yeah, sometimes it can be a little intimidating. I think yeah, my first press conference was a little intimidating because I feel like, I'm just the youngest person there and everyone's kind of like they know what everything is and I'm just like sticking my XLR cable in the thing and I'm like, is this right? Um, but that's the beauty of it is you get to kind of learn. It's like your own little rookie hazing in a way. Is you feel like a rookie, you're trying to figure it out, but then the more you do it, you're like, oh, I'm chill with all these other news stations I see, and they probably know I'm a student, but who cares? We're all here doing the same thing for the same love, same passion, same work ethic, same hard. It's hard work, so
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
Do you feel like that's the biggest difference in between like students and non-students is just that you're still like learning so much, or do you think there's other differences? Like the way that we tell stories, and like let's say like you tell a story, KCRG, which is a local station up in Cedar Rapids, I believe, tells a story. Like, what do you think the biggest differences are?
Just experience, really. I mean, they know everything. They know all the nooks and crannies behind what creates a really good shot and how to uh, present yourself, especially the on-air reporters. Like when you watch KCCI, for example, and you watch those reporters do live shots, and they look so smooth and they don't mess up at all. And it's like, oh my gosh, like I can't do it that good. Like I try it, but it's that's just what experience is you get more reps and you feel more comfortable on air, and there's a certain degree of where you just naturally, even if you're messing up, it doesn't look like it because you know how to manage everything. And so I feel like it's just experience.
100%. Yeah. No, experience is huge. Obviously, it's huge. We just spent a little bit of time talking about experience, and obviously, everyone else has more experience than the student journalist at any school.
Yeah.
Typically, I should say. But on a kind of a little different, I guess, different note. I guess it's kind of the same, a little different. But I mean, you mentioned again being a cinema major, correct?
Yes, originally cinema major.
Yeah, so you go into college being a cinema major and now find yourself where you are right now. If you had a chance to go back and tell little freshman Jake just entering college that this is where you're at now, this is what you're doing, what would you tell yourself?
I would tell him to get a new freshman year roommate. I'm just kidding. No, I would I definitely would. Oh shoot, I'm out of focus. I would say, like, that you're doing all the right things. Like, you want to be acclimated, you want to just try and fail, but also like be okay with messing up. I mean, I've messed up on air on DITV multiple times. So is everyone. Like, and sometimes you'll get made fun of for it, whatever. Like you just gotta shrug your shoulders, be like, hey, I screwed up. Learn from it, and you'll get better. You just gotta take it, one step, one writing, one newscast at a time. And um I would say that's what I would tell myself is just don't be afraid to fail. Because I think part of me was always like, if this is stressful, I don't want to do it. When realistically, it's okay for it to be stressful. That's what hard work is. You're not going to get anywhere without working hard. And so, um, let yourself fail, let yourself be comfortable with failure.
Yeah, perfectly stated. Especially because, like, I mean, if you're not comfortable like failing and everything, you won't grow, you won't learn anything. I think I got to take a moment too to kind of give a little bit of a. We got to take a moment to acknowledge the professional setup we got going right now. You got the mic, got the camera going. It's perfect. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
man. We got the mic arm right here.
You're more set up and ready to go than I am. I'm just sitting here like I just have my computer. That's it. And I don't know. I haven't tried anything else. I used to
Hey,
have
it's
like
good enough though, All you
it
need is
works.
one computer. Change the world.
I used to have this little microphone and it was like fine, but at this point it's probably like like this thing is probably like 6 years old, and I'm not gonna say
Ooh,
you know
six
what
years old.
I was gonna say
6 or 7.
yeah.
Oh
Ah,
man.
that's the scariest thing that happened
It's
on
okay.
the Halloween episode. That's the scariest thing.
Oh yeah, that is horrifying. It's funny
Um,
because a lot of athletes have been slipping it into their stuff, and they don't laugh at all. They cover it really
so
well. But they so intentionally slip it in. You can tell.
one of yeah, I'll mention one of mine. I was at football media day, and I was talking to defensive lineman Aaron Graves, and I don't remember exactly what I asked. I think I asked something about I don't even remember who they were playing this week. I think it was the Wisconsin week, and something about like shutting down the run game or whatever.
Yep, I
And
remember
Aaron
that.
Graves, we just got to make sure we're doing better on first downs. We can't give up 6 or 7 yards after
Yeah,
on the first play of each drive like we have been. And like he paused, and I was like, dude, no way that wasn't intentional. I got
Yeah,
it.
that had to be intentional. He just slipped in it.
I got it. I got it pretty much like confirmed that it was.
I think
I
it was.
don't
Those
know.
the linemen are pretty funny. They seem like Jennings Dunker seems hilarious, so
Yeah.
they gotta be like cracking up about that. There's no way it wasn't intentional.
They all talk about how they're all just a bunch of goofballs, apparently.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like because he's a lineman, I feel like it just makes sense.
I think they all just joke around 24/7 and everything.
Yeah.
So I think I'd be remiss, especially on account of Elise Scan, if I did not mention the 21 Pilots cover in the background and everything. Want to
Oh
get
man.
that? I
Oh
spotted it out.
goodness.
I spotted it
Yeah,
out.
there's two
Yeah,
of them actually over there.
Clancy and is the other one. What do we got? I can't.
Trench. The
Okay,
other one's Trench.
there it is. Great albums, great band and
Great
everything.
band.
I know
You're just
Elise
21 Pilots guy as well, or what?
a little. I just know Elise would appreciate it because you
Oh
guys
yeah,
talk
yeah. I
about it, and
gotcha.
I'll listen to 21 Pilots too. I just know I'm not as into it as you guys are.
Yeah. No, it's I mean, one of my friends is just he's a 21 Pilots fanatic. And so I think I just was like, all right, I'll listen to one of their albums. It's actually really good. And so I, started listening more and more. And I mean, I think their genre is just kind of like their music aligns with me. Like, because people always ask me, what music are you into? And I don't know how to answer because I don't have one genre. And they're kind of like a genreless artist. They do a bit of everything. So I think that's what drew me to them. But yeah.
I know you guys every now and then you guys will talk about him in there. So I'm like, I'm be remiss if I didn't bring it up, and I'll listen to him every now and then. But
Yeah, it's a whole community of a fan base. So
it
we
is,
you spot each other.
it is. They're all like you. Like I remember you guys when you guys first connected. It was like over in the sports bay. I'm pretty sure. And it was like,
Yeah.
wait, you know about it too? Yeah, it was exactly what you just said.
Yeah. No, that's pretty funny, but yeah,
Yeah. Well,
good music, man.
yeah, no, it is good. It is pretty good. But a big thing in journalism is obviously connecting, networking, getting yourself out there. So an opportunity for you now here to kind of plug yourself, give yourself some shout outs on different places or things that people can go find your work after they listen to this episode.
Yeah, Jake Rios TV on Instagram. I actually just started uploading a lot of my reels and packages, so I'm kind of working my way up to present. Um, and catch me on KRUI soon. I will be taking advantage of that probably come basketball season.
Yeah.
So yeah, tune into KRUI. And then same thing with Twitter, just Jake Rios DITV, or Jake Rios TV. Sorry. Um, and yeah, that's
And
pretty much it.
I'll make sure I link about everything I can as well. If you want updates on the Iowa men's basketball team, Jake Rios has got it. Introductory press
I'm your
conference,
guy.
media day from this year. Jake's got it all. Jake's got it all. But no, Jake, I appreciate you joining me here on this special Halloween episode and taking some time out of your day for the student beat.
Thank you, man. It's been a dream to be on the student beat. So it's been honestly, yeah, this is a dream come true. So thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
I'm glad we could finally get you on. I'm very glad about that.
Yeah. I wanted the time slot. I was like, hey, book me.
We got you in. We got you in. And now it's
Yes,
the
sir.
specialty episode. So again, thanks for joining me here on the student beat.
Thank you, man. It's been fun.
Absolutely. And again, to everyone listening, have a happy Halloween. Thank you for listening to this spooky Halloween edition of the Student Beat. Jake is doing a lot of really incredible stuff right now. And of course, he's also a great friend of mine, so I highly suggest you check out his work, give him some support as well. And if you want to stay up to date with all upcoming episodes of the Student Beat, make sure to follow me on Twitter at C_Crithers33, or you can follow the podcast on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Student Beat. We just walked The Student Beat. I'll see you next week for a brand new episode.